Hi there, Stephen McCormick here, MSP Community Manager for Tubblog, the hub for MSPs. Today, I'm with Trevor Cornbill, Sales Manager at Morrison Insurance Solutions, and he's here to talk about Techinsure, specialist insurance for technology providers. Hi, Trevor. It's nice to speak with you again. We met last month at the CompTIA UK Business Technology Community meeting in Manchester. Richard Tubb introduced us, and I'm just following up with you today to talk a little bit more about Techinsure and how your company works with IT businesses to provide insurance that fits in with their needs as technology providers. So why don't we start by you telling us a little bit more about yourself, Trevor. Like me, you're based in the Midlands, aren't you? Tell us a bit about your experience in the insurance field, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I've been in the insurance industry for 31 years. I know I don't look old enough, but I definitely am. I've got a few grey hairs to show for it. Started specialising in technology risks probably about 13, 14 years ago, really, which, you know, then was a really novel thing. But the industry's evolved so much, and so has the covers that go alongside people operating in that area. I mean, it is a specialist area. It's an area I enjoy. It excites me because of the people I meet. I mean, most people would agree with me when I say that insurance is inherently boring, but the people you get introduced to, the businesses that you get introduced to, the concepts that come out is what excites me and why I'm in the industry.
Oh, brilliant. That sounds like you've got a lot of in-depth knowledge then. So in that case then, why don't you now tell us a little bit more in depth about what Techinsure is and how you differ from other insurance providers?
So Techinsure is a brand. It's been a brand of Morrison Insurance since 2013, and we were bought out by Clear Insurance Management in 2019. So you may see the name change from Morrison Insurance Solutions to Clear Insurance Management in the future.
Yeah.
But it's still the same brand. It was aimed and targeted at technology businesses who wanted to combine their different areas of insurance under one roof, effectively. And that's what it achieves. So it's specialist cover for technology businesses, which combines a number of different areas of insurance under one roof.
Brilliant. So what would you say are the top three things that MSPs should be looking for in an insurance provider then, in your opinion?
Well, from my point of view, I would always advocate that they go to somebody who knows their industry, first and foremost.
Yeah.
I would, if that person has a knowledge of insurance, then yeah, by all means, you can go to these direct companies. But other than that, would probably advise them not to go online direct.
No.
And the reason for that is because it's your interpretation of a question. You're not being advised. It's non-advised, if you know what I mean. So yeah. It's your interpretation of the question. If you interpret it different to what the question is meant to ask, then you could well invalidate your own insurance policy. So that would be my other point. And the other is to make sure that insurance is a mitigation tool. It's about taking out cover to cover the cost of something that you can't afford to get wrong. You know,
absolutely.
So,
yeah.
You know, if you buy a household insurance policy, you might have a £500 excess because you know you can afford £500 in the event of something going wrong. But, you know, and commercial insurance is exactly the same. You buy it to cover the things you can't manage yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, I was reading that in a recent survey that was carried out by Ninja RMM, they reckon that 35%, possibly more, of MSPs do not have adequate cyber security cover. Does that surprise you? What are your thoughts about that?
It doesn't surprise me at all. I think across the UK, only about 15%, 10 to 15% of companies across the UK buy cyber insurance. Mm-hmm. Now, from a technology business point of view, it's so easy to, in some cases, add to your existing policy rather than having to buy a separate standalone policy. So it's something that you can do easily. But there's a lot of, a lot less understanding about what it provides and what covers are involved in it. And if I say anything about cyber insurance, I would say that you're not buying it for the liability limit or, ransomware cover. You're buying it for the services it gives you. Yeah. Because the breach services, when you initially have that breach or that hack, it's so important that you ring the right people and you get the right support at that initial stage. Yeah. And I would advocate that that's more important on a cyber policy than some of the other areas.
I think you're absolutely right there. I think you do need to have that right support there for when you are in trouble, which is when you actually need it the most. So yeah, absolutely. Right then, can I ask you to give a recent example of where you've helped an MSP with a particular problem? Perhaps it's a common thing, or it's something a little bit out of the ordinary that you've stepped in and kind of advised on there.
I think where I've helped some MSPs is supporting them in demonstrating to their customers on a cyber point that it's not all about the IT. Yes. So many MSPs will sell cyber products to their customers, and then when a customer is hit with a cyber attack, they go racing to the MSP and blame them for it.
Yeah.
So they'll then stood there going, but I can't give you 100% guarantee because the MSP can't control everything. So I think the key area is that, by working with us, and we will gladly work with any MSP, we can demonstrate to your customer and add that value to your customer that we would advise them what the cover is under a cyber policy, for instance. We'll also demonstrate that it's not just an IT problem, because when an attack happens, you need legal advice, you need PR management advice, you need notification services and areas like that I would imagine most MSPs couldn't give anyway.
Absolutely.
So from that point of view, I think that's where I've helped several MSPs in that field. I think the other thing, and I highlighted it a little bit before, is I came across a recent tech company that had bought online. And the reason why I mention it is because I know you guys are so au fait with the internet that you will go online to purchase stuff. This particular company was producing feedback software,
Okay.
And they ticked a box to say that they were a media company.
Right.
Right. So in the policy wording, when they showed me the policy wording, it stated that they would cover nothing to do with IT contracts.
Right.
So actually, they'd taken out this policy, they'd pay a really nice premium for it and everything like that. But it was a waste of money because it wasn't going to cover them for what they wanted.
So because they hadn't been upfront about what they were providing, they weren't covered?
I don't think it was that they were trying to not be upfront. I think they just clicked on the wrong thing.
Oh, it was just a genuine
Mistake.
mistake then. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
that's it too, though. It's, I mean, the human factor there should never be discounted when it comes to risk. So, yeah. Absolutely.
I think the thing is if you talk to somebody like myself, they're going to advise you. They're going to give you advice. If you go on blind and do it yourself, that you're getting asked questions and you're answering them.
You're paying for your expertise in it.
Over the last few years, I've been lucky enough to pick up some of those policies through different MSPs, and they're not paying any more by coming through me to what they would have done if they were paying direct. But that's got to be a positive, isn't it?
It definitely is. I mean, you are basically kind of helping them almost free of charge there, really, just by helping them to actually choose the product that will suit them best, which is great. Right then, so if anyone who is watching this wants to get in touch or inquire about your services deeper, what's the best way to do that, Trevor?
Well, you can find me on LinkedIn, or you can find us at Techinsure 1 on Twitter. You can also contact me by our website. We've got a form on the website that you put a few details in and it pings across to us, and we'll contact you at a time to suit you. So there's several ways of contacting me. And like I said, by all means, you can ring the office at Morrison Insurance Solutions office in Ulster, and they'll put the phone through to me as well.
Brilliant. I would like to say thank you very much for taking the time to speak to me today, Trevor. It's been enlightening. Thank you. Brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's all we have for now. Thank you for watching. I've been Stephen McCormick, MSP Community Manager for Tubblog, the hub for MSPs. Thank you.